Hello and welcome to another episode of E&D's How to Make Tech Easy. Today we're going to focus on noise reduction from your outlets in your home. Specifically for audiophile use, stereo systems tend to inherit noise or have noise passed through to them by the power cables that they're hooked into the outlet with. We're going to test two devices today to actually see if they reduce the noise that they say they do. A Panamax M5500-EX. It's quite a few years old, but it states that it reduces EMI noise, which is the noise you hear through your power outlets. And the second is a Furman. It's called a reference 15i for 15 amps because that's what my outlets are. And we're going to test both of those using a device called a Greenwave EMI detector. This is the EMI Greenwave detector. And what it does is it registers the noise in the form of a digital readout in what they call millivolts and audio noise, which you can actually hear from the speaker. Apparently this does a good job. It tells you whether your device is actually reducing the noise level that it initially received. So let's start the test. So here's the Greenwave EMI device, and we're going to take it and plug it into an outlet. Let's see what it says on the back anyway. It says here Greenwave Broadband EMI Meter, designed by Greenwave International to measure the level of dirty electricity, i.e. electrical noise, line noise, electromagnetic interference on AC power lines wiring. Okay, good. So let's see how it works. I'm going to plug it in to my outlet. And it's saying 232 millivolts of dirty noise, and you can hear it on the speaker. And now I'm going to take the Panamax unit and plug it into the same exact outlet and see what it does. In front of you is the Panamax M5500-EX power conditioner. This unit has been in my audio system for quite some time, and it has on the back of it quite a number of outlets for separating power for each of the different types of devices, and I'll show you that in a second. Banks 1 and 2 are always on, and they're, as you can see, designated for digital monitors, digital VCRs, digital audio, and your satellite cable box. So as you can see, the Panamax power is on, and in the US here we're getting 121 volts, and it's currently drawing 0.3 amperes. Okay, so now let's plug in the Greenwave, and I'm going to plug in the Greenwave, provided I know what I'm doing here. And as you can see, 128 millivolt. Well, let's get it to focus. That would be helpful. Right? That's at the outlet. Before it was 232. So let's make sure this is not misleading. I'm going to unplug the Panamax piece and see what it registers. Now it's up over 300. So I've just plugged in the Panamax piece again. And once it's all started up, I'm going to now plug in the Greenwave meter into the outlets in succession from banks 1 to 5. At the outlet, we just saw 128 millivolts with the Panamax piece plugged in. Let's see if it does any further noise reduction. And 298 millivolts, which is higher than the outlet. That is crazy. So let's see if we can do some more here. Plug in, again, another outlet. 295. That's still pretty bad. No reduction whatsoever. It's supposed to be less than 50. See, bank 3 does. Again, the same reading before as the other two banks. So now let's move into bank 4. So as you can see, I'm plugged into bank 4, 320. That's pretty bad too. So now let's plug everything into bank 5, well, the meter into bank 5. And obviously this is a significant reduction from 300 down to 151. Still much too high. It should be under 50 based on the Greenwave manual on an acceptable level of EMI or noise coming in through the power cable. Okay, let's try the Furman piece next. This is a brand new Furman IT reference 15i power conditioner. Just received it. This is the back of the Furman where all the action takes place, although you can't see it. Plugging it in here on the right for your source components, and on the left for your high current components, i.e. your amplifiers and subwoofer amplifiers and stuff like that. In front of you is the back of the Furman piece. So I'm going to take the EMI meter and plug it in carefully. So we're going to plug it into the source component side of the house. 84 or 186 now, which seems quite high given this is supposed to be the isolation bank. It seems like the Furman piece and the Panamax piece are doing more at the outlet, the receptacle on the wall, than it is coming out of the unit itself. Let's try the next band. Again, 170s, 180s, which is again much too high. Let's try the power outlet. Significant reduction in the power outlet, 22. So at the wall, we were down to 40 with the unit plugged in, and now we're down to 22 on the back of the high current outlets. Let's try another one. Should all be the same if what they say is accurate in the documentation. 23 millivolts, significant reduction. In looking at the Panamax, it does absolutely no noise reduction whatsoever when it says it's supposed to reduce EMI and other types of noise coming through the power lines. Only with the high-powered bank did it do some reduction, but not nearly enough to be well below 50 millivolts, which is what it should be. Furman piece, the reference 15i, on the high-powered user banks, significant noise reduction down to 40 and then to 20, based on plugging the Furman piece into the wall. The Greenwave meter went from 200s that we saw, almost 300, down to 40-ish on the millivolts for noise level, was much, much more reduced than the Panamax. And then plugging it into the back of the Furman, we saw that the source outlets on the right, the 4 source outlets on the right, did not really have any noise reduction whatsoever. But the 4 high-powered outlets on the left had significant noise reduction down to 20s that we saw with the Greenwave meter. This is a pretty telling test to determine whether the manufacturers actually live up to their claim in their documentation. Furman, on the high-powered outlets, definitely so. So thank you for your time. I hope you enjoyed this video. And if you like it, please do the like below. And if you find the content useful on my channel, please subscribe. Thank you very much for your time.